And you? Where are you? In your office?
Yep, front office at the house. So, how's everyone doing? It's so good to see everybody's faces.
Thank you.
How are you, Ela?
I'm very fine, thank you. Apart from the fact that it's pretty cloudy outside, and a bit too cold for my opinion, but nevertheless, it's okay.
Great. Well, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for mentoring us.
Pleasure. I see some other familiar faces. I see Nikki and Dina, and I can't. How are you guys doing?
I'm fine, thanks.
Good. Welcome.
I'm curious what happens today.
Yes, me too. always an adventure. And Ricarda, how are you doing?
Chicken.
Just joined. Thank you. Welcome. Awesome. Well, Matthias, Sabine, how are you guys doing?
Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Now she can hear. Ricarda, can you hear us?
Before I can't hear you.
Yeah, okay.
So, Matthias, Sabine, do you guys want to say anything to kick us off?
Yeah, I have to say something. Thank you very much, Andy, that you take the time for us.
Pleasure.
I don't know exactly if somebody else is coming. Zara is busy with the house, building stuff. She's looks quite like a how do you say it? Very dusty, and I think that's it for today.
Okay.
For the others, we will do this once a month, every second Wednesday at the same time with the same link.
Okay.
I have to tell the others who are not able to participate today. I thought that it would be good to do it the first time just with our frontline leaders, with our most beloved downlines.
Fantastic.
Holidays.
Andrea is on holidays. Yeah, she's not able to participate. Otherwise, she would have been here, of course.
Awesome.
So, because the whole mentoring thing is, we have to learn from you. Yeah.
Well,
So,
we're honored to be connected to you two. We love you two both so much, and I'm so impressed by your vision and your leadership and your commitment to your team. I think that's why you two are as successful as you are, because you show up, you keep your word, and you make things happen. So thank you for your commitment to each of your team members and the way you support them all the way to the very end. So it's great to be here, and thank you so much for the opportunity.
yeah, it's really nice to see you again. I've one more question. Do I need to translate once in a while something, or is it?
I don't know how. I think most of the people here are pretty good at English. So if we get stuck on something, I think it'll be useful. But you tell me. Is everybody here pretty comfortable in English?
Yes.
I think so, yes. What you said. If someone's stuck, then Matthias can help.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay. One more suggestion, because we announced this mentoring meeting, of course, a lot of days, some weeks ago, and we're not really very sure about how to fill in the form. What kind of issues are connected with the numbers, and what does it really mean? I basically understand what is meant, yeah, that you concentrate on one thing that you work on, but this is what everybody has said, but maybe it's good that you explain how you work with the one thing mentoring sheet. That we do it, you do it with us, but that we are also able to do it with our people.
Okay, awesome. That's a great question and a great segue for us to dive in. So let me go ahead and share the screen to show the One Thing Mentoring worksheet. I'm sure you've all seen it, but just so that I can point at the things that we're talking about while we're talking about it. So can you see my screen with the One
Yes.
Thing Mentoring?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. So Natalie and I have had the privilege of doing lots and lots of mentoring. On a weekly basis, we use the weekly success check-in, but on the occasional mentoring basis, you know, maybe with some of our leaders who are further down in our team, it might be once a year, once every 6 months. We like to use this particular form because, there's a million things we could talk about. But this particular worksheet helps us zero in on the one thing that would make the most difference in their business today. So that's what I think is most successful. If people come away with, you know, a full page of things they need to work on, they tend to not do any of them. But if they come away with one thing, then it's very practical, it's very applicable, it's very actionable. They can take it and apply it starting that day in their business. So let's go ahead and dive into the form of the mentoring worksheet. So question number 1, where are you now? What's your current rank? And when we ask what their rank is, we mean what rank do you hit without a BOGO, without buy-in, without, you know, your upline buying in, without any kind of outside influence. What rank do you hit on your own organically? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's the first question. What rank do you hit organically? And they would just put a checkbox in that field. So let's say maybe someone's hitting silver organically. So that's the box they would check. And then from there, they would move to the next questions. Rate your belief and rate your actions on that line, and then each of the lines below as well. So what we're looking for is numbers on the rest of the line they checked, and then we want them to fill out everything below that as well. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So let's say someone's hitting silver, so they would check this box, and then they would come over to belief in you. So this column is called belief. So rank yourself on a 1 to 10, what your belief in yourself is, okay? So maybe they don't have a lot of self-confidence, and so they would only rate themselves maybe a 4 or a 5 in this box. And then the next box is about their commitment. You know, maybe they have a very high commitment, but that commitment is not translating. So maybe their commitment is maybe an 8 or a 9, so they would put that number in this box. And then the next box is about success habits. So how do they rate themselves on actually doing the daily habits, you know, the IPE of the business? They're inviting, they're presenting, they're enrolling. So this is where, this is the action that they're rating themselves on. So how would they rate themselves? Maybe they're very committed, but, you know, maybe they have a brand new baby, or maybe they have a new job, or their husband just lost their job. So, but whatever the reason is, maybe this score is maybe a 3 or a 4. Do you know what I mean? And then this question here, solidify your certainty. This is kind of the call to action. You know, like maybe they would just rate their current score on their certainty. Like, how certain are you in your belief in yourself, in your commitment, right? This is just kind of a summary score on that. So then after they filled out this line, they would come down to the next line and fill in the premier, because this is like a house. You have to start with a strong foundation, and then you can build the next level, maybe the wood frame, and then you can put in the walls. But if there's a breakdown, you have to go back, and you have to go back to each level and make sure, okay, are the walls solid, right? Do we have good frame? And then we can come down to the foundation and say, okay, do we have a solid foundation for your business? So after they've filled out this line, they could fill out this line and say, okay, rate your belief in the company and opportunity. And let's just say this person has they struggle with the opportunity. They don't think the comp plan really pays out like it says it will. So they might rate themselves as 5 or 6. And then the next part is integrity. Do you do what you say you will do? Do you present in an honest and authentic way? Or does it sound like you're pretending? Does it feel like you're not being transparent or open? And so they would rate themselves on integrity right here. And then the next box is on presenting the message. So how do you rate yourself on a 1 to 10 on presenting the message? And then you just continue all the way down through the bottom. So again, they start with the line they're hitting organically, and then they fill out all the boxes from there on down. And so the only checkbox is in this column. Everything else is a number 1 to 10. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Any questions so far?
You mentioned at the silver rank IPE. What does that mean?
Part of the pipes, isn't it?
Yes, that's from the PIPES acronym. So
Okay. Then I know what you mean. Yeah.
yes, yes. Sorry, I should have clarified. Good question. So, so with this information, you can now mentor someone and see exactly where the breakdown is, and how to support them to achieve breakthrough, whether it's in themselves or in their circumstances, to help them get to the next level. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for the one thing that could make all the difference in their business. Okay? So when I'm mentoring someone, I'm looking for the lowest numbers on the page. So maybe they gave themselves 9s and 10s everywhere except for one place, and that's a 2 or a 3. Or maybe they scored themselves, 6 and 7s, but maybe one of them is a 5. Whatever they gave themselves, you're looking for the lowest number, and that's where I would start with them. Okay? So if we're mentoring, then I would just recheck to make sure they understood when they filled that out. And probably what we'll do is we'll give more explanation on the final version of this form so that people understand that. We probably haven't explained that very well, but that's a really good question to make sure people are clear. So probably to talk about how we actually do it, probably we'll just jump into some mentoring, and then that'll probably be the best way to show how I do it. So should we go ahead and dive in? Why don't we, I'm gonna go ahead and take it off of the screen share. And Ricarda, how are you doing?
I have to put the microphone on. I'm fine. How are you?
Great. Do you mind going first?
But I don't understand the mentoring sheet. I write it wrong, I think so.
Oh, it's fine. It's great. You've done a good job.
Now you explain it and I say, okay, it's wrong.
It's fine. Probably what I'll do is, as we're going through it, I'll have you give me your scores and I'll just write it down on my page. Is that okay? So,
Yes.
I've got your mentoring form here.
With
and
mine.
and is gold the rank that you hit
Yes.
organically? Okay,
Good.
so gold is the place we'll start. And you rated your belief in your builders at an 8. So is that right? You believe in your
Yeah,
builders
that's right.
at about an 8.
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
One question. The rank you reach without any top up and any help.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, then.
So yes.
Okay. So that's gold, is that right?
But then I think it's silver or what? Because of the top up on it.
Okay. Okay, great. So why don't we start with silver then, if that's the one that's organic. So let's start with your belief in yourself, your belief in you. What number would you give yourself with how much you believe in yourself? 1 to 10.
In myself, I think I give me an 8.
8? Okay, great. Let's go to the next one over from that. How would you rate your commitment on a 1 to 10?
I think 9.
9. Awesome. Okay, the next one over is modeling success habits. So, in the pipes, there's prevent, prepare, invite, present, enroll, support. The success habits are the 3 in the middle, right? When it comes to inviting, presenting, enrolling, how would you rate yourself on doing those 3 things, the invite, present, and enroll?
I want to change my commitment in 10, and I give for the other one a 7, I think so.
7 for success habits. Okay, awesome. And then certainty is the last one. It's another way of just saying kind of your overall belief, right? How would you rate your overall belief in yourself? It's probably just an 8, right? The same as the first one.
Same, I think so. Huh? Yes.
Okay. So let's go down to the next line. How would you rate your belief in the company and the opportunity?
Okay, now we go under the line, yes?
Yes, next line down.
And the company and the opportunity, 10.
10, okay. The next one over is integrity. How would you rate your integrity on a 1 to 10?
10.
10. And then the next one over is presenting the message. How would you rate your commitment?
Trust or
How would you rate yourself on presenting the message?
as you have to present the message, I think even 10.
10. Okay, great. How would you rate yourself on enrolling? The last one there.
Where are we now?
This is the last one. It says grow trust to enroll.
Trust to enroll.
Go on Premier.
Okay, you go there. Okay.
Yeah, the last line says grow trust to enroll.
Okay, tell me again what you say.
So we're talking about enrolling, right? That's the last one. Enrolling.
Enrolling.
So how would you rate yourself at enrolling?
5.
Okay, great. And then let's go down to the very bottom line, elite. How would you rate your belief in the product on a 1 to 10?
The product, 9.
Okay. And then the next one over is courage. So how would you rate yourself on courage?
I think 9, yes.
9? Okay.
Yeah.
And then the next one is sharing experiences. How are you at sharing experiences, like giving people an oil experience?
10, I think so.
Okay. And then the last one is inviting people to change their lives. How would you rate yourself at inviting people to change their lives?
8.
8. Okay, perfect.
It's not so easy.
Oh, you did great. You did awesome. So based on these numbers here, your lowest so far is the enrolling on the premier line. You gave yourself a 5. So talk to me about that. Where do you feel like the breakdown is when it comes to enrolling people?
Why it's so difficult, or why it isn't so low?
Why did you give yourself a 5 on that one?
It's only because I think it is together with the inviting. And so sometimes I make more with my team and not with myself for enrolling, you know?
Okay.
So my own enrollings are not high enough.
Okay. But in terms of your ability though, like how would you rate your, maybe you don't have very many personal enrollments, but how do you rate your ability to enroll?
A number, or I have to tell you, you know?
Yeah, a number.
How the Bilder are in enrollment?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Matthias, sag mal, was würde das
Also
heißen?
die
Deine
Frage,
Fähigkeit zu
genau, wie du die Leute, wie einfach oder schwierig ist es für dich, Leute einzuschreiben? Also wirklich, du machst ein
Okay,
Interview, hast-
that's not the problem. Okay, that's not the problem. I think it's more 8 or 9.
Okay. So
It's
you're
not
able,
such a big problem.
sounds like you have the ability, but maybe you're focused more on your team right now and not inviting your own people and enrolling your own people.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Okay, great. So, so if that score is an 8, then as I'm looking at your paper, then now the lowest number is on the silver line. The second number over, model success habits, you gave yourself a 7.
Model success, yes.
So now that's your lowest number on the page. So it sounds like maybe you have shifted your focus to helping the team, managing the team, and you've put less focus on inviting people from your names list and presenting and enrolling your individual people. Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, fantastic. That's a very important awareness. It's really good to know that. So let's go ahead and dive into the next questions about where you want to be and what it'll take to get there. So question number 2, it says, where do you want to be? And you said at least presidential diamond. And
yes,
then,
of course, at least, yes.
Sure, in time. And then you say rate your belief and actions at that rank. So, you say at first you need to hit platinum. Your belief in your team is 9. And my action for this a 7. So again, this is, about the same level. It's not an 8, 9, or 10. Your belief in your action is a 7. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's because of my time, So my action is not high enough, yes, because I have not enough time sometimes for to make enough for this,
Sure.
And so I give it a 7, yes.
Okay, perfect. So I love that your belief in your team is so high. Your belief in your builders is very high. So you've been able to assess by yourself where the breakdown is, and that's on your personal enrolling, your personal inviting. So this is the pulse of your business. This is the vitality of your business, is always bringing personal enrollments. Corey Lindley, he had a quote from a recent presentation. He said, the biggest difference between people who consistently advance in ranks and those who don't is personal enrollments. So I think you've identified on your own where the gap is between where you are and where you want to be.
Yes, I know.
So personal inviting and personal enrolling. So let's go to number 3. What belief or action needs to shift? So this is the lowest areas. It's your action and your time. So you have to spend more time and enroll your own people on the others to help your builders to grow. So you're exactly right, and you figured that out all on your own. Number 4, what one thing can you focus on now that will help you move towards your next rank? Create 2 builders to a silver rank and enroll their own people. Is that what you mean, for the silvers to enroll their people? Okay, perfect.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So tell me, you guys all are familiar with the build guide, right?
Tell me again.
Are you familiar with the build guide? You've seen this before?
No, because we don't have here in Germany.
The only
We have the old one and there's no German version from the build guide.
Okay. Well, even in the old version, we still have the names list in the back. So a space for you to, brainstorm all the people that you know.
Yeah,
And
I have.
perfect. Okay. So in order for us to do the thing that Corey Lindley talked about, always have our enrollments, we get to always update our names list. So as busy as we can be with doTERRA, if we're not always updating the names list, then our business will slow down and eventually stop. So I would invite you to take some time over the next few days and update your names list. It doesn't have to be in a build guide. It could be on a lined piece of paper. It could be in a spreadsheet on your computer. But that names list is where the magic happens, okay? So as you sit in the question, who do I need to reach out to? Who do I need to connect with? And what's the next step with them? That's the one thing for you right now to move your business forward and to keep growing and to get to the next rank and to find those silvers. It's going to start with a names list. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And then from the names list, it's inviting.
You see?
Awesome. I love it.
I have it in English.
That's great. That's fantastic. Yep. So that
okay,
that's one thing for right now. And it's really easy to do that names list one time when we first start. And then as the team grows, we shift our focus away from that names list. But the thing I've found with top leaders in the company, they're always working on their names list. They're always reaching out and inviting and keeping their business vibrant with a names list. So how does that feel as your action item for today? Does that feel good?
Yeah, it's good. I can do it.
Okay. All right, so the last thing, what support do you need? I need some meetings with an upline and builders, and I need a strategy to find out how the builders can become what is the last word?
I can't write, you can't read it, I think so. I haven't it here. I don't know. Show me.
To become leaders?
Oh, sorry.
That's fine.
Wait.
I think it says leaders. So it sounds like you'd like to have some regular meetings and have an upline at some of those meetings. Is that right?
Yes, but we will do it now. I think so. Yes.
Okay. Awesome. So having regular meetings is so important. That's a lot of times when people are looking to decide, should I do this as a business or not? If they see that their leader is holding regular meetings, many times in their mind, that's all the comfort, all the peace they need to feel safe enough to invest their time into the opportunity. And so I've seen this over and over and over again. As people commit and start doing regular meetings, their businesses take off and grow so much. It also creates a space. You talked about one of your, on question number 2, you talked about number 4, you talked about creating 2 new builders to Silver that enroll their own people. One of the things that builders need in order to stretch and to grow into a builder, they need a stage. They need a space to present. There's something about the fear of presenting and the rush that comes when we have success presenting, especially in a group, that is part of leadership development. And I've seen many times that when people hold a regular meeting, and if you were to organize the meeting and invite your leaders to be presenters at those meetings, they will have that experience. And so that could provide the breakthrough that they need to get to those levels of Silver and above. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Awesome.
I think.
So I love the idea of using regular business meetings, not only to help new builders feel safe building, but also to help your existing builders step into leadership, to step into the confidence, and to step into the energy of success, because that's it feeds itself, right? The more success they have, the more they want, and so it's a wonderful cycle, and regular meetings is a great way to do that. Sometimes your builders are not in the same area, and so you might broadcast your trainings by Zoom, and you could even have presenters join by Zoom, so you don't have to all be in the same physical area. But just having a standing meeting is very, very important. So I think you've got your marching orders. Keep inviting and enrolling your own people, and hold your regular meetings.
Yes, I will do.
Awesome. What other questions do you have for me?
I don't know. Annie, do you think that it's maybe easier to invite people sometimes in other places? Not in your home. It's easier to other places and to make bigger groups or something like this?
It depends on the type of meeting. When we're teaching an introduction to essential oils, we've found that this works best in our home. If we're holding like a business training, then we've found that sometimes that works better in a larger venue, a bigger space. It just depends on your area and the size of the group. it's not hard to hold a business training in your home, especially if it's a group of 10 or 15. So I guess it just depends. Yeah. I mean, technology makes it so easy to hold meetings online now, like we're doing right here. Mm-hmm. It's really amazing. The world is shrinking every day. Does that answer your question, or?
Yes, for the first, I think so. Yes, maybe the other have questions.
Yeah. Anybody else have any questions or thoughts about what we've talked about so far?
On my part, I have already learned a lot by what you have told Ricarda.
Awesome.
It's
fantastic.
Very helpful.
Great. That's the beautiful thing about mentoring, right? Is we don't have to be the person getting mentored to be gaining and learning. Mm. Awesome. Okay. Well, Ela, I think you're next.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. So based on the form that I have here.
Thank you, Annie.
Sorry, what?
I say thank you. Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you, Ricarda. You did a wonderful job. Does it make more sense now, Ricarda, for you how to use this form?
Yes, now I know how I can use it. It's good.
Okay. Yeah. And again, this is not a form that I would use with my direct enrollees, the people that I've enrolled every week. I might only use this mentoring maybe once every 2 months, once every 6 months. Do you know what I mean? Like it's kind of a high level check-in, whereas the success check-in is like a day-to-day, let's look at the numbers of your pipes and those kind of things. Does that make sense? Awesome. Okay, Ela. So based on your form here, it says that you're hitting the rank of silver organically, and you gave yourself level 10 on your belief in yourself, 10 on your commitment, 7 on your success habits, and 5 on your certainty. Mm-hmm. So tell me what your, I know the question is kind of ambiguous, you know, solidify certainty. That doesn't make a lot of sense, but tell me kind of what you're thinking on the score you gave yourself there. Are you saying that your overall belief on that line is a 5, or is that just kind of a bad question?
It might be that I have not really understood the meaning behind it, but yeah. In my opinion, it is that, again, I am very much committed and I believe in myself and in the business. But I have to learn a little bit more about my ability to be in one part successful. So by inviting people and presenting the oils and then enroll the people. But there might also be problems to find, as I wrote down, to identify people who could be also builders. So I'm struggling with that. And this might be the meaning by saying solidify certainty. So this was what I understood.
Okay, perfect. So it sounds like you have some questions around mostly identifying builders.
Yes, because what I do, the very few builders I already have, I do train them once per week by business training and oil training. I have once per month my invitation evening for newcomers. And I also have once per month a theme evening. So when I say, for example, breathe or the metabolic system and what kind of oils we can use. So in this term, I would say I am quite constant, but I don't understand where could I find builders, or where could I see them that they might have the opportunity or the potential to become builders.
Okay, great question. So the best place to find builders is on your existing team, right? Your customers is your best pool of potential builders. Because the best builders have had an experience with the products. They fall in love with the products. They're faithful customers, and so they naturally want to share. So I would say start with the people who have already joined your team, who maybe haven't said yet that they want to build. Okay, so that's the important, the importance of doing a lifestyle overview with your team members, because we have a chance to go deep into their life and where they are and where they want to be. And at the very end of that, we ask if they want to share or share with others and potentially build a business. So it's a very natural setting to ask people if they want to do the business with you. Mm-hmm. And this is something that we recommend everybody do with each of their team members. And the best way is for the person who enrolled them to be the one who does the lifestyle overview with them. Mm-hmm. So you don't have to take care of all the people on your team, but you train your people to do it for their team members. So does that make sense?
Yes.
So the next question then is how to identify the builders, right? How to see if they're committed and if they're capable.
Yes.
So if we're doing the lifestyle overview and they say, yes, I do want to share with others, then we take them through the build guide. And in the build guide, we talk about the possibilities. We talk about why it's important to have a financial pipeline, why doTERRA is the best partner to work with to build their financial pipeline, and why doTERRA is different, their retention rate, their growth. And in this process, we show them what it looks like to build a doTERRA business with the pipes. And then we show them what's possible with doTERRA's generous compensation plan. And then we ask them, where do you see yourself? Where would you like to be maybe 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now? So simply asking those questions of what doors would open, what possibilities would they now have if they made an extra $200 a month or $2,000 a month. So just helping them dream again is a really powerful exercise for a lot of people. And then the next page, we have them actually choose the path that makes most sense for them. Do they want to get their product for free? Do they want to supplement their income or replace their income? And that's choosing their path. And then we show them that the 3 steps to starting a business are to start living the lifestyle, to start sharing with others, by hosting classes, and then actually officially launching their business. So this is the first step to identifying builders. If they're willing to commit to live the lifestyle and set up a class and host a class, then we have them start their names list of who they want to invite to the class and who they want to work with. And this is the very best way to test their commitment, to test them as a builder, is give them the build guide, give them the chance to host their own class, and you'll know, if they're willing to put a date on the calendar and have you come teach that class for them, and they're willing to invite people, that's the best way to know if they're committed and capable.
Yes. Your brochures are fantastic, Andy.
Thank
And
you.
I have to ask Matthias, I think they are on the way to be translated, aren't they?
Yes.
Okay, and when will we get them? Any idea?
Yeah, I had them 4 weeks ago, and we did last corrections, and they said 6 or 7 weeks. So maybe, I guess, beginning of August is realistic.
Yes, but no,
I hope so. You never know.
Probably later, 2 weeks later. Or 4. Okay, but nevertheless, they will come, and Andy, I think they will be a fantastic help.
Yes, they're amazing. And we've got the earlier versions in German already that you can be using right now.
Right. Where would I get them?
So you go to sharesuccess.com and you click on library. And then in the library, at the very bottom, you have the international. You click on international. And you can download the guides in at least 14 different languages there.
Wow. Wow, thank you very much.
German is one of them. Absolutely.
Okay.
So we have the class, we have Live, Share, and Build, all there in German already.
Is it this one here?
I don't know if we have launch in German. Let me check. In fact, let me go ahead and share my screen just so that I can show how to get there.
I don't think we had it in German.
No.
Yeah, I don't think launch is there just yet.
Okay.
So, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So you click on library.
Yes.
sharesuccess.com, and then you scroll down, and you can click on. Let me get this out of the way. You can click on guides, and it has the different languages available. There we go. Or you can scroll down to international, and you can get them that way too.
Right.
So there's German. Oh, I don't see the German class. The class is a little tricky because you have to tailor the kits to every single market. But we've got the Live, Share, Build. Yeah, launch is not in German there.
Right. Okay.
All right. So that's the best way to identify builders, is take them through the build guide and show them what it looks like, show them what's possible, show them what the first 3 steps are, and then they choose and they show what their actions, if they're ready to build or not.
Okay.
Okay. So do you mind if we take you through the next 2 levels below silver?
Mm-hmm.
So let's start with Premier. How would you rate your belief in the company and the opportunity? 1 to 10.
It is 9 out of 10 because there are some products I am not so happy with it. For example, Terra Greens includes sugar, and for our thinking in Europe of sustainability, in such a wonderful product, there shouldn't be sugar in it. So this is my opinion.
Okay, so I might put that score down the next line from that, which is the product. Okay, so just the company and the opportunity. Do you trust the owners to do what they say they're going to do? Do you trust that the compensation plan will do what it says it will do? How would you rate your belief in the company and the opportunity?
That's 10 for me.
That's a 10. Okay, so I'm going to put a 10 on that one. The next one over from that is integrity. How would you rate your integrity on a 1 to 10?
It is 10.
10, okay. The next one over is present the message. How would you rate your ability to present the message?
Actually, it's 10.
10. Awesome. And then the next one over is enrolling. How would you rate your ability to enroll?
That's 6.
6? Okay.
I have to learn.
Okay, great. Good awareness. Okay, so the next line down, product, we gave a 9. The next level over is courage. How would you rate yourself on courage on a 1 to 10?
It has become 10, actually.
Great.
It has been lower, but it has changed.
Fantastic. I can feel your certainty. I can feel your courage. The next one over is sharing experiences.
Yeah,
So,
it's 10.
okay, great. And then the next one is inviting others to change lives. How would you rate your ability to invite people to change lives?
We are talking then about seeing builders, isn't it?
That's one way that you can invite people to change lives. But sometimes even just inviting people to enroll
Okay.
is inviting them to change their life.
Okay, I would say it's 8 to 9.
8 or 9. Okay. Fantastic. So now as I look over your scores, the 2 lowest numbers are enrolling, which is a 6, and success habits, which is a 7. So let's focus in on enrolling for now. Where would you say the breakdown is when it comes to enrolling? Where would you say, this is where I have issues when it comes to enrolling?
I sometimes struggle between not to being too pushy.
Okay. So you feel like sometimes you are too pushy, or do you worry that you're not?
I want to be, yeah.
Okay.
But I'm completely convinced about the product and about the company. I do explain that, but sometimes I think it's just informing them and then give them time to think about the product, to give them samples and go home. And this might be not the best way. I have to make them just sign now and not let them go home without having put their signature underneath the form.
Yeah. So you want to, obviously your desire is to help them have the products and have their own membership, but you don't want to feel like you don't want them to feel forced or to feel like they've been coerced or manipulated.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. So can I share some language that Natalie and I use when we teach a class?
Yes.
So the way we start the class is we tell people what our intention is. And I don't know what the words are in German, but I'm sure that you can convey the same idea. So we tell people that our intention when we, for our class tonight is we have 2 intentions. Number 1 is for you to be educated. We want you to learn all the basics, everything you need to know about essential oils in order to put them in action. So that's our first intention. The second intention is for you to be empowered in your home. Empowered to us means you have the tools at your fingertips when you need them. Because we know that if you go home and you only have the information but you don't have the tools, then when your child wakes up at 2 a.m. with an earache, then information's not enough. Information will not cure their earache. Only the tool will. And so in order for us to feel like we've done our job, we want to make sure that you are fully educated and empowered so that you're ready for anything. You're ready for the earaches, you're ready for the coughs, the tummy aches, the headaches, and everything in between. Science, they've actually done research that shows that if somebody learns a new idea and they don't put it into practice within 48 hours, then the chances are less than 50% that they will ever take action on that. And so it's called the law of, it's not the law of diminishing returns. I forgot the name of it, but it's that idea that we're bombarded with so much information that if we don't put it into practice in 2 days, then the chances are that we never will. So that's why we tell people our mission is to give you the information and the tools. Does that make sense?
Very much.
So, and we do it with conviction, we do it with passion, and we come from a space of service, right? We want these people to have the tools when they need them. So it's not from a space of being pushy or manipulative. It's truly a space of service. And we carry that through the whole presentation. So as we're doing the presentation, we say things like, we tell our stories, right? We make sure that we say, because I had the tool at the right time, I was able to solve the problems. And then when you get to the part of the class, when you're showing them the kits, we use the same language. When you have these tools, you'll be ready for anything. You'll be ready to solve the issues. And then usually we break up and we have people start filling out the form, start signing on the line, like you said, one-on-one. So rather than in a group setting, we come around and we talk to them about the kits and which kit would be best for them and their health needs and their family's needs. And then we have them fill out the form individually. And we bring that same language of certainty, the same language of empowerment, right? We're here to help you have the tools so you're ready for anything. And we bring that same language to the close, which is where they're signing on the line. They're choosing a kit, they're committing, and it's not forceful, it's not uncomfortable, it's simply, this is the next step. Now that you're educated, it's time to be empowered. Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes sense. Thank you.
Absolutely. Any questions so far from you or anyone else?
I have a question.
Go ahead, Dina.
When you say you need these 48 hours to get people to get in action, how do you make it? Do you give them samples, or do you just give them their products and what they would actually order, or how do you give them the possibility to take action?
So from the time that we share a sample with someone, it's not like they have to enroll from then in 48 hours, but generally we found that your highest chance of enrolling someone from the time that they've been presented the introduction to OIL, like the meat of the information, we found that your very best chances are in the first 48 hours, and then the chances go way down from there.
Okay.
So from the time they get a sample, it might be a week, it might be 2 or 4 weeks to when we actually get to present to them. And it doesn't have to be a class, it could be a one-on-one.
Sure.
Meet up in a coffee shop or something.
Mm-hmm.
But we like to send the message with words and with energy that it's important for them to take, once they've been invited to enroll, they actually take action on that within 48 hours.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
And you don't have to share with them those statistics. It's mostly for your value as a builder to know that information.
Sure.
Great question. Any other questions so far? Okay.
Have you any experience when people start to be overwhelmed with information? For example, when within one evening you talk about LRP, or how you then they could also use the tools for business and so on. Do you know that where there could be a limit?
Absolutely, that's a great question. We've designed the class with that in mind, so that people have just enough information to take action, but not so much that they're overwhelmed. So we've designed this, and you know, until you have the German versions, it sounds like all of you are very comfortable with English. I would use the English versions to, you know, get very familiar with the flow and the amount of information, and start getting ready to have them in German. But basically, we might spend, I don't know, 10 minutes on the front page of the class. We might spend 15 minutes on the inside, which is telling a lot of stories, sharing a lot of experiences, helping them find their own solutions. And then we might talk about kits for just a few minutes. LRP. I mean, all we say is, well, in America, we have Costco, which everybody has a membership to Costco. And that's the same thing, right? It's doTERRA wants to reward people who have, you know, who set up a membership. And that's how you get the wholesale pricing. And they also give you points back with loyalty rewards. So we don't spend more than a minute on loyalty rewards at the first class. And we don't even go into, like, we don't show them, we don't go through the live guide, we don't go through the share or the build guides. So as far as tools, we just use this as the outline, and we don't go into the others, because that would, like you said, overwhelm them. They would feel like they're getting fire hosed with information. So an ideal class is 45 minutes to an hour, not more. And then as you meet with them one-on-one, they might have lots of questions. If they're asking lots of questions, then you know they're ready, and you can give them more information. But really, the only way to know how much is the right amount for them is by listening to their energy. You know, people, they use body language, they use little verbal cues to say when they've had enough, when they want more, right? So if somebody is ready for more, they're sitting on the edge of their seat and they're paying very close attention. If they've had too much, they might lean back, they might close their you know, fold their arms, cross their legs, you know, look off in the distance. You know, the body language is the very best clue for how much information somebody wants and is ready for. And then you know these people. I mean, if you've invited them personally, then you know them, and so you know their personality type. You know, if you know that they're just an avid learner, then they'll want more. If they're a quick start like me, then less information is better. So, you know, there's not a golden rule. It's really just knowing them and reading their body language to know how much they want. And the same thing applies to business trainings as well. This has been designed to give them just enough to get started. But if you started a brand new builder with the launch guide, it's likely going to be too much. So, is that helpful?
Yes, thank you very much.
Absolutely. So, it looks to me like your lowest score was the enrolling. The next lowest score was the success habits. So, you know, just like we talked about with Ricarda, the inviting, presenting, enrolling your own personal people is probably your next step, your next most important thing. So improving your enrolling is number one, and number two is increasing your IPE in pipes. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you very much. It makes sense. Yes.
Awesome. Okay, I've any other questions for me before we move on?
No, not for now. Thank you very much.
Okay. I need to grab the printout of the next one. I'll be right back.
Oops.
Okay. So this one is, I don't see a name on this one. Matthias, do you know who this one's from, this last one?
Anja? Hello.
I think it should be Nikki and Michael. This was the last one I sent.
Oh, fantastic. Awesome. How are you guys doing?
Great, thanks.
Fantastic. Okay. And tell me again how to pronounce your names.
Nikki and Michael.
Nikki and Michael. Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, so so it looks like organically you're hitting Premier, and your belief in the company opportunity is 10.
Stop. No, that's just not ours then. I think that could you show it just briefly into the. No, that's not ours.
Look,
Oh.
But that's the old.
that's ours. No,
But it's the old one.
the old one. Yeah?
The old one, sorry, I sent it again. Or do we want to go through? I'm guilty.
There's a new one coming.
No problem, Matthias.
Yeah, sorry for that.
No problem.
Sabine eats cherries.
Knopper.
Nomade.
Matthias, I think it should have in handwriting, also unsere Namen stehen oben drin, ne? Nikki und Michael.
An welche Adresse habt ihr das geschickt?
Du hast es
Matthias, I send it per WhatsApp.
WhatsApp? Oh.
Brauchst du es nochmal anders?
Okay. Nee, ich hab's.
Nicht letztes Mal.
Ja, das kannst du so leiten. Kannst du das nochmal per Mail
Direkt an Andy gleich schicken. Habt ihr das irgendwie gescannt oder so?
Ich fotografiere das gerade mal.
We're currently in the process of building a web form for people to fill out this One Thing mentoring page. That should be done in the next week or so that in the future we don't have to, go through this, print it, fill it out, email, print, you know what I mean? Like the web form is going to make it a lot easier. So thanks for your patience with us while we get that up and running.
I have it in 20 seconds. You have it in 20 seconds.
No worries. Why don't we start with just having you tell us where you're hitting organically.
Schick das mal weiter. All right. We reached the rank of gold. However, I'd say we'd focus on silver for the mentoring now.
Okay.
So first of all, we did not understand that we should fill out all the fields that are contained in the ranks. So we just filled out gold. So let's start with silver, perhaps.
Okay.
We would put a 10 in you. The belief in you is 10.
Great.
The commitment, we put 9.
Great.
Model success habits, 9.
Great.
Solidify certainty, 10.
Okay. Perfect.
Then the premier rank, company and opportunity, 10. Integrity, 10. Present the message, 9. Go trust to enroll, 10. Product, 10. Courage, 9. Share experiences, 10. Invite to change lives, 9.
Great. That's a lot of high scores.
Yeah, we're not doing too bad, actually.
You guys are awesome. Love it. So tell me about your current rank goals. Where do you want to be?
What do we want to be?
Yes. What are your rank
Question.
goals?
You answer. What do we want to be?
No, answer you.
Presidential diamond.
Fantastic. And what's your belief in your actions to get to that rank?
Right now, we are convinced very deeply about the product and the opportunity that not only it provides to us, but also to everybody that we bring into contact with the oils. And we can see that from the reaction that we get from the people on our team, the builders as well as the clients. And we do see what you had said before, that the best builders you find on your team. At the moment, we have quite success that customers volunteer to do the business after 4 weeks to the most, and they are starting to collect information all over the web, not only what we provide to them from Duft de Welt. Actually, tonight, 2 of them who just joined 4 weeks ago are giving classes, and it is picking up a lot of speed and a lot of empathy among them.
Awesome.
I think at the moment we are at a situation where we, and that's why we filled out gold. We have a very strong belief in our builders. We need, and those are both 7s or 8s, nurture the team culture of duplication. So we need to get a more intense structure and regular communication into the team. We wanted to have an online hour for questions tonight, and I forgot that it is the semi-finals of the World Championships, so everybody asked me to skip that. But it's getting there, and it's very encouraging, all the feedback that we get.
Fantastic. Tell me more about the team culture that you want to create. If you could wave your magic wand, what would your team feel like?
Like a family.
Yes.
I love it. Give me some words to describe that.
Pardon me?
What are some words that describe what that means to you?
People interact very openly and very helping to each other. I think Nikki is the one who's the fisherman here. I'm more of a supporter, but the response that she gets from all the new little islands that we developed is very good, and it intensifies rapidly.
Awesome. Do people see you involved in the business, Michael?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Awesome.
So since I do have another job, we have to take turns in when to give classes. We like to do that as a couple, and sometimes I go on my own to places in Berlin. During Diamond Club, most of the outside events were given by Nikki.
Awesome.
But Michael is a fisherman too. Good fisherman. Yes.
Good. I love it. I can tell. Yes, very effective. I love the fact that you're publicly out in front of the team, the two of you. That'll be important if your goal is to send, to have a team culture of a family, then it's important for you to be there together as much as possible and to show the team how you work together. What are some other strategies you have for bringing that team culture of a family?
We do have some builders of very different origin. For example, we do have some people from the sales force of Vorwerk, which is the direct sales organization for vacuum cleaners.
Okay.
Big brand worldwide, 15 billion euros turnover. So, and they started to get to know the oils, I think 4 months ago. The first one of them did, and he drew more of his colleagues into using the oils or getting to know the oils, and now they start a second activity. So that is more a sales experience and psychological experience towards direct customers. We have some therapists and yoga teachers who come from a very different perspective. So they come from the more well-being and therapeutical matter, and they pick up some knowledge when it comes to closing, or not to be pushy, but to invite and to sell and to make people open an account.
Great.
We see that different people or different groups have different capabilities that we want to introduce to the other groups.
Fantastic. Great. Anything else, Nikki, on how you want to bring that team culture of family into your group?
I think the most important thing is to spend time together. Obwohl heißt in spite. In spite we have not so much time, you know. We are all very, very busy, children, kitchen, job, and so far. But I try to talk directly to the people, not only on the phone, to see them, to touch them, touch the heart. And I think I'm very good in understanding people, feel what they need or their wishes, you know.
Right.
And I think this is for a team, could be very good.
Awesome.
But our team is still little, yes?
Yes.
But it works. We grow.
Great.
Yes.
I love it. I love that intention of building a team culture around the feeling of a family. I mean, at the end of the day, the family is the most unifying force on the planet. It's people will do anything for family. And so to create that as your team culture is, I think, so perfect. Whenever Natalie and I coach people on placements, other people say, oh, place where you need volume, place for rank. And we say, no. Think of a family. When you're placing, you're creating a family. And so you need to think of the family dynamics. And so I love that that's your goal and what you're creating. I would also suggest that you treat the team like your family. And for some reason, the idea of doing lots of storytelling comes to mind. Just like you read to your children bedtime stories at night, think of the stories that you tell your team as that same kind of thing, right? Like we transmit our values, we transmit who we are, we inspire character through the stories that we tell. And so be very intentional about choosing the stories that you tell to your team. You know what I mean? Like it's not just about this product worked for this. It's also we create culture through the stories we tell.
We do have numerous examples where some of our young builders share their experience and the situations when they were able to help relatives and friends. And it is sometimes heartbreaking to see their reaction, and they are in tears and they're just so happy, and it moves on so quickly like a bushfire.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Was heißt, es arbeitet übers Gefühl?
It works through the feeling.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
The strongest power. Yeah.
Yeah, the heart is where the power is. The heart is what inspires, moves, drives us. So the more we can access people's hearts and touch their hearts, the more action we'll see, the more engaged they will be. So you've nailed it that way. Fantastic. So it feels like that's the one thing for you, is to create that team culture of we are a family, we support each other, we love each other like a family, we're open with each other, we help each other the way a family does. We don't care about who's upline from who. It's just all for one and one for all. So it feels like that's the one thing for you to focus on. Does that feel right?
Yes.
Yes, it does.
Of course.
Awesome. Fantastic. So that family feeling can be conveyed through everything you do. The events that you hold, the way you invite, the way you teach, the way you teach placements, the way you teach and do everything. And I love that focus. So that's exciting for me to hear. I'm excited for you.
You love this focus too. Yes.
Fantastic.
Very much.
Awesome. What questions do you have for me or for anybody else on the call?
Perhaps how to find the solution to use the time of the day in respect of enrolling yourself, caring for the team. The one point here was nurture a team. So it's there's this old saying, who communicates leads, and we try to do that a lot by WhatsApp or personal calls, and we aim to have meetings of course, but we aim to have a party here in Berlin quite soon to have them all meet and exchange on a personal basis. But the question is, how do you organize the time? How do you split it into building the team, building the own customers, developing LRPs? What's the ratio, or what's your experience on that?
That is a fantastic question. there is a page just about that in one of the rank guides. I'm trying to remember which one it is. Since I don't know that off the top of my head, can I find that page and get it to you?
Sure.
The general answer that I would give you is never stop doing IP&E, right? So make that your first priority, no matter what stage you are in. And then, just like with a family, if you think of your key leaders as children, then they need to grow into leaders in order for them to take care of their children, right? In order for them to be a self-reliant leader. And so, so I would say focus your training and focus your time around empowering them to be self-reliant leaders. Give them opportunities, you know, by hosting, like we talked about earlier, with Ela, that was with Ricarda, about having trainings where your leaders can step into presenting and start to step into leadership. And and that will free up more of your time as they move into that space of raising their own children and raising their own leaders. So I would say that probably for most people, from the time they start building until the time they're premier or silver, I'd say 90% of the time is on those three activities: invite, present, enroll. From the time you're silver to gold, I would say that more and more time goes into supporting. But it's always a balancing act because you don't want supporting to ever take over your business. So I'll find that worksheet and I'll email it to Matthias, and then they can send it out to the team. It is in English, but it sounds like you guys are very comfortable with that. And it just talks about time management and how to shift your focus as you move through the ranks. Some really good general rules there. So I'll send it over to Matthias and Sabine.
Cool.
Thanks.
Absolutely. Well, I'm super excited for you and your team and for everybody here. We've got an amazing group of leaders. And I just have to tell you guys, we were in Frankfurt with Matthias and Sabine and Adish and Santoshi. And I was just reminded what incredible leaders you have in Matthias and Sabine. They pulled off what I believe was the very best post-convention event. You know, we got to see photos from lots of other countries. We got to be in Romania, in Hungary, and see the event there. But the way Matthias and Sabine brought the team together, they empowered their leaders by having them do different parts. They delegated. They had a very professional event even with breakouts. I've never seen a European event with breakouts before, but this one, they just did an incredible job. And I just have to tell you, you're all in the very best of hands. Matthias and Sabine, they have such a high level of commitment to
Thank you. We love you.
So I just want to remind you that you couldn't ask for better leaders. We love them. We love their hearts. We love how hard they work for you and for doTERRA in general. Obviously, this event was not just for their team. So a lot of their work was for supporting people outside their team. And that is the heart of doTERRA. So thank you again for everything you do, Matthias and Sabine. And thank you to each of you for everything you do to share these precious gifts of the earth and for lifting the world. We get to be changed. We get to be the change that we want as we raise others in their health, as we raise others and we raise up leaders. We're all so blessed to be part of this incredible movement. And it's an honor for me and Natalie to be part of this movement with you. So thank you all for joining us today. And Matthias and Sabine, anything you want to say before we wrap?
Sorry, is there a chance for me to also be mentored also, even if I didn't fill out a form?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, sorry. I thought we were just doing the ones with forms. So let's do that.
No, I just didn't fill it out because Matthias and Sabine and me were talking about that yesterday and didn't still know how to do it. So
awesome. Yeah, let's do it. So I've got a form here, and I'll just tell me where you're.
I have to go now.
Great. Anyone who needs. My internet is bad, so I couldn't hear that. But anybody who needs to leave anytime, feel free to hop off. Thank you again for joining us, and we'll look forward to catching you again next time.
Thank you so much. Yes, I hope so. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you. And anyone watching the World Cup, enjoy that too. Super exciting. Okay, so Dina, tell me about what rank you're hitting organically.
It's gold.
Okay, awesome. Tell me what your, how would you rate your belief in your builders?
That's, I think, the first big point, because I actually only have one, and you know, it's Sarah. Okay. Because my other leg, Stephanie, my best friend who moved to Sri Lanka, she still has her account and still wants to do doTERRA, but as she is in Sri Lanka now, it's quite hard to work with her and her leaders. Mm-hmm. And my third leg is my mother, who's only an account holder. So there's actually only one leader, who's really building, and okay. I think that's the first big point. So I do, of course, believe in them, in Sarah, and also in Stephanie. But
so let's separate them then. How would you rate your belief in Sarah?
10.
Okay. How about your leader in Sri Lanka?
It's quite hard to say. Maybe a 6.
Maybe 6. Okay. And we don't count your mother, so we'll just count the Sri Lanka builder. So let's go to the next level, the next box over. How would you rate your belief in your love for the team, your ability to transfer vision?
It's a 9.
9? Okay. Mm-hmm. The next one is nurturing. Actually, the second box would be for transferring vision. How would you rate your ability to transfer vision?
Maybe an 8.
Okay. And then the last box is your ability to nurture a team culture of duplication.
That might be a 9.
9? Okay, great. And then let's go to silver now. How would you rate your belief in yourself?
It's a 9.
9? Awesome.
Yes.
How would you rate your belief in your commitment?
Also 9.
9?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then as far as modeling success habits, what would you rate yourself?
That's probably 9 to 10.
9? Okay. And then your certainty, how would you rate your certainty?
Also 9 to 10, maybe 10.
Okay, great. Let's go down to Premier. How would you rate your belief in the company and the opportunity?
10.
10? How about your integrity?
9.
Okay. Your ability to present the message?
9.
All right. And your ability to enroll?
9 to 10.
Okay. Next line, the product. How would you rate your belief in the product?
9.
Okay. Your courage?
10.
Okay. Your ability to share experiences?
10.
And your ability to invite to change lives?
9.
Okay, fantastic. Well, these are all very, very high scores. It sounds like the biggest breakdown is your belief in your second and third builders. Is that right? So, what do you need to do to have builders, personally enrolled builders, that your belief would be at a 10? What do you think the next steps are? What actions do you need to take?
I think it's quite similar to what you started when you started today with Ricarda, because I have way too less personal enrollments and personal events. And as you were talking to Ricarda, of course, my thoughts were about myself. And I think one of the problems is that I spent so many hours, days, weeks on the street the last years doing the Diamond Club 4 times, that maybe my social life broke a little bit. And what I need to do is doing new contacts, or reach out for old contacts. Because I'm not in together with too many people, you know, because I've been so many time in the car, in the camper, on the street, and yeah, that was not good for the social life.
Okay, so in Diamond Club, how much did you work with your own prospects and your own people that you were presenting?
Way too less.
Okay,
I know. I focused a lot on Sarah and Stephanie that time.
Okay.
And I realized in the last Diamond Club that I actually have too less personal enrollments and personal contacts in my team.
Okay, that's a great awareness. It feels like that's your one thing. That's definitely where you'll find builders that you can partner with, builders that you can build with, and create the next level, the next rank. Sorry, were you going to say something?
Sorry?
It sounded like you were going to say something.
Yeah, because what I found during the last Diamond Club was like a second generation under my mother. What's even good, because I need a lot of sustainability in that leg. And so I work with them now, but they are not even executives, you know, they just started. And so I know now there is a way to find people, but I think I have to put a lot of more action in it to find more of these people.
Yes. And I love your idea of shifting focus away from doing enrollments for the teams that you have, and moving into, you know, let's pull out the names list, let's work on your own personal enrollments, and it, you know, are there some people on those existing teams under Stephanie and your mom who could be your qualified legs?
Yeah, there are definitely, but that takes a lot of time, of course, because they start from a quite other position now, you know.
Right. So one possibility is to work with them. Another possibility is to find a new builder who could take over your mother's position, right? Since you said she's a placeholder.
Yeah.
And I don't know what your arrangement is there. That it doesn't have to be that way, but that's just one option. If you do find somebody who could lead that team. So that's just something to be open to. Awesome. So yeah, it feels like you've got really high scores in every single area except for the other builders. Nurturing a team culture, you gave yourself an 8. Tell me more about the team culture that you want to create.
Even if I'm not a couple, I mean, I am part of a couple, and you all met him yet. So so my boyfriend will start doing doTERRA also, but he's quite fresh, so I think that doesn't count at this moment. But as I'm also a family person, I think it's also it has lots to do with love and just being kindly to each other, loving each other, and I think that is a thing I do quite good, because I know people like me and like work with me together, but I just have to find the next new people.
Fantastic.
That I can work with.
Awesome. And what strategy, what ideas do you have for a strategy to create this team culture of love and kindness?
I think it's a lot of with personal contact. As I also have my team all over Germany. I do a lot of via Zoom and phone calls and stuff. But what I do is just talk to all of them very often and very. Matthias, was heißt regelmäßig? Oder Michel? Ihr habt alle eure Mikros aus.
Regular.
Yeah, very regularly. So it also it's developing also that it feels like family. Just talk to each other all 2 or 3 days and ask how they feel, what they are doing, what their plans are, how the last intro class was, and all that stuff. So I really have a close relationship with all of them now, and that's what I like and what I need.
Awesome. That's fantastic. Well, that sounds like a really solid strategy, and carrying that message through all team activities, all team communication. I love that. That's fantastic. So it sounds like your one thing is going back to your names list, reaching, developing leaders within those 2 week legs, and really focusing on your personal, the leaders that you're personally involved with. So, and then the second thing is your team culture.
Yeah.
So do you feel comfortable taking the next steps in those 2 areas and structuring your focus and your time around those things?
To be honest, not really now, because I still don't know where and how to find new contacts, but okay. I know I have to work on it, and that's my point now. Okay.
Well, I'm happy to brainstorm here some ideas. I found that people do the very best in the environments that they love the best. Mm-hmm. So wherever you love to be is where you'll tend to find people who match up with you. So I know some people who join health clubs or yoga classes or other social events with one intention, and that's to meet customers and builders. Mm-hmm. So there's one diamond that I met in California who she travels around the country with her family, and her only purpose is to find new business builders through yoga classes. Mm-hmm. So, that's what she loves. That's what she's good at. I have another team member. She's a blue diamond, and she has an annual pass at Disneyland just to find new customers. Mm-hmm. That's her happy place, and she enrolls people every time she goes. Mm-hmm. So I would say focus on the people and the places that you love, and that's going to be your best place, your best prospecting activity.
Okay.
And it sounds like maybe your partner wants to be involved, your new boyfriend.
Yes.
Talking to him about how much he wants to be involved and who he knows that might want to partner with you too?
Of course we did, and actually one of his colleagues is waiting for a call for me.
Oh, fantastic!
Right now.
That's great.
So we just started enrolling we just started enrolling for him. So,
fantastic! I love that.
Me too.
Yeah, we love having new partners. So awesome. Any other questions about that, or how to move forward?
I don't think so. Thank you so far.
Yeah. Anyone else have any other questions about that, or any other comments?
I think, Andy, that it's Teresa Harding who is offering a kind of timetable on her website for being focused on what to do when and how it works and so on. It might be the person you were thinking about.
The page that I was thinking of is actually in the Empowered Success System.
All right.
It's very possible that Teresa Harding has a resource or like a video related to that. It could be very good. I'm not aware of it, but I'll find that page in the Empowered Success rank guide, and I'll forward it on to Matthias and Sabine.
Thank you very much, Andy.
Absolutely. Thank you all so much for your time, and thank you most of all for your hearts, for your commitment to serving and lifting. I noticed that Tanya, you're on. Did you want to do some One Thing mentoring as well, or were you on to listen?
Hi, Andy. I'm on to listen. I'll maybe give it a try next time. I did one last time when I was chatting to Natalie, which was really, really helpful. And I'm away next month. But yeah, September will be good. I'd love to do some then. Thank you. But yeah, it's been really helpful listening. So, and good to connect with everyone. So thank you so much.
Sounds great. Thanks for being on with us. Awesome. Well, thank you again for each of you. And it's always such a joy to connect. I love this global family that we have in doTERRA, whether it's in London or Frankfurt or, next year, Dusseldorf. I love the family reunions that we get to have, or on Zoom, right? We get to connect all the time and in lots of ways. So thank you again for being with us. So grateful for you and everything you're doing.
Thank you, Andy. We're really grateful for you too.
Thank you for the time you take for us. And I was always pretty sure that we're in the best team in the world, but every time
absolutely.
I'm more sure. Thank you for all the work you've done with Share Success. It's really great, not only for our team, but for everybody who works with doTERRA, and this is really great respect.
Thank you so much.
Totally.
So great to connect with each of you. And thank you again, Matthias and Sabine, for everything you do to organize this and bring us all together.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good time.
Bye-bye.
Love to Natalie.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'll send your love to her. And
you look at this scarf.
I love the scarf.
Presidential scarf.
Awesome. You'll be there next year. We can't wait.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
We'll see you.